back to Gaming Hot Takes, a series where I read your hottest takes about various video games. In today's video, I'll be reading your hot takes about the Octo expansion DLC in Splatoon 2. Now, this DLC is by far my favorite DLC of all time in any video game, so I'm very curious to know what you guys liked or didn't like about Octo expansions. With that said, let's get into your hot takes for this video. Girl Power Station was easy. So here's the thing, I kind of agree, it's definitely not as hard as people make it out to be, but it's definitely not easy. I would say it's just probably like mildly challenging, I guess, or well, not mildly, it is kind of challenging, but it's just, I feel like people think that this is the hardest level in the entire DLC, which is definitely not true. But I mean, it is still pretty challenging. Having to fight off a bunch of Octolings in all various directions with all various like weapons and specials and subs and whatnot, it can get pretty chaotic. So I think if you're a first-time player, this one definitely can give you a run for your money. But the more you do it, the more you fail. You like, you know, you get strategies and you can figure out which ones to take out first and try to sneak attack ones as they spawn in. So yeah, while I think it's definitely not easy, I disagree here. I do think it is definitely one of the most challenging missions in the entire DLC. It's definitely not the hardest, but if we were like maybe doing a top 10 or top 5 of the hardest DLC, or sorry, the hardest missions in the Octo expansion DLC, this one would probably still be on there because this one can give you a run for your money. What were the devs on when making Inner Agent 3? Well, let's see. They were probably on a mix of I don't know, maybe some Red Bull, maybe some mental issues thrown in there, maybe a teensy bit of alcohol, and, you know, other things that make you go fucking crazy, because, oh my god, Inner Agent 3, if you know, you know, this freaking secret boss is a pain in the ass. Like, the more you fight it, the more you can get, like, strategies and ways to finally beat it, but it's still a pretty damn hard boss. Like, when I first fought it, it took me forever to beat this thing, because they make it, like, that final phase especially is just the worst. Like, having to deal with freaking splashdowns and that one phase where you got the auto bombs, like, they were not playing around here. This is what probably broke people a lot when it came to the DLC here, because, you know, there are certain levels in the game that can definitely test your patience, but then when you get to Inner Agent 3, like, you better learn to control your freaking rage and emotions, because they will come out during this fight. So, to answer your question, probably a lot of things, but, you know, because of that, we got one of the most iconic and challenging bosses in all of Splatoon. I like the idea that the devs were able to take all the hard challenges they couldn't put in the main game, since it's already like E10 plus in Octo expansion. Did they rate the main game and Octo expansion separately? If they did, I have no idea until just now, so that's kind of weird. But honestly, to kind of expand your hot take here, I just like having more of a challenge overall in this one compared to the main campaign, because the main campaign is good, you know, it's a great campaign, it's got some cool levels in there, but the challenge definitely wasn't. If you play Splatoon 1 especially, the overall difficulty wasn't as high, or it wasn't really that high, because, like, you know the mechanics, you know how to, like, you know, play the game at that point, so it's not really that challenging for the most part. But then you get to this DLC, and they really just up the ante in terms of difficulty, making you learn, like, all of the mechanics, and really testing how good you are at the game. So, I appreciated that for sure. Having 80 levels that can really, like, put your skills to the test, that's one of the biggest reasons why this DLC is one of my favorites of all time, or actually it is my favorite of all time, if I'm being honest. So, yeah, about the rating, if that's true, I had no idea, so I'll look into that, after this recording's done, but, yeah, I just like having, you know, a much higher difficulty, in this compared to the main campaign. My only one, we needed 18/8's default outfit added to the main game. Even an amiibo for it would have been perfect. It's not already in the game? I thought it was, but, yeah, I mean, I kind of agree here if that's not the case, because their outfits are pretty cool, so, yeah, and don't we have amiibo of the Octo expansion people, the Octolings? I think we do, don't we? Pretty sure we do, so I would assume that would unlock their outfits, right? If not, then I don't know, but, yeah, if that's not the case, then, Yeah, I agree. Their outfits are great, and they should definitely be in the game, or in the main game, so you can actually use them in multiplayer battles. Here's a real hot take. If I were to rank all the outfits of Captain Cuttlefish, I would rank Octo expansions in last place. My guy, you're telling me you don't like freaking OG rapper Captain Cuttlefish from Octo expansion? Are you serious? Honestly, I disagree here. I'd rank this one over the first one, or the first game, probably over threes. You know, honestly, this might be my favorite. I think I have to fully disagree here. I really do like Captain Cuttlefish, you know, just rapping, dropping bars, dropping rhymes, being this hip kind of hype man in the final boss battle. So, yeah, that is a real hot take. Well, I don't know. I do feel like, you know, him being this kind of rapper guy does kind of take away from being a captain of this, like, you know, platoon or army or whatever. So, I can see that, but personally, this is my favorite Captain Cuttlefish. I gotta disagree here, so yes, that is a real hot take. Octo expansion isn't that good. It's actually pretty unfair. So, just because a DLC campaign or just one part of the game is unfair means it's not good? I disagree fully with that because, you know, for example, Cuphead, right? Cuphead's pretty unfair. Hollow Knight can be pretty unfair sometimes, but those are, you know, fantastic games. I don't think a high difficulty should be a, you know, huge factor or a factor regardless in terms of how good a game is. I mean, you know, Octo expansion will test your skills for sure, so if you're not good at the game, you probably will suffer a lot, but that doesn't mean the game or the DLC isn't good. I would say that challenges you to learn the mechanics more. It challenges you to, you know, get good at the game and develop strategies and skills for playing through it. So, yeah, I gotta rebuke you here. I'm sorry. Like, yes, it's pretty unfair at times. It is really, really challenging, especially if you're a first-time player. But that in no way, shape, or form means that the DLC is not good, because it is more than good. It is fan-freaking-tastic. Stop! Now she'll die a virgin. Stop! Stop it! Okay. Stop. Okay.
Stay the fuck in the fucking car!
Oh, fuck! That was a sneak peek of all the content that you might be missing out on by not becoming a YouTube member. When you're a YouTube member, you get so much bonus content, such as all my anime watch-throughs, classic content like old Twitch streams, movie watch-alongs, and more. So what are you waiting for? Hit the join button down below, pick the tier you want, and enjoy all the benefits that come with your YouTube membership. If you're already a member, thank you for your support, enjoy your benefits, and now let's get back into the video. I personally think the final boss is better than Side Orders. So, I actually agree, even though I do love Overlorder from Side Order, you know, having that whole cutscene where, you know, Pearl Marina help you get the color chips and you blast Overlorder with, like, this, you know, super powerful laser, what is it, like a killer whale sort of thing. That is kind of cool. The whole, you know, way the fight's structured is pretty damn cool. But let's be honest, like, even though it's not the best final boss in the entire Splatoon series, I feel like DJ Octavio and Mr. Grizz are probably, like, the top two for me personally. Tartar is probably number 3, easily. Like, that giant statue that you fight him on, and you got Marina dropping the bombs to help you color the thing in ink, and then you got Pearl using the ultimate booyah killer whale and taking that thing out. Like, it is some damn good stuff, and the song as well. Fly Out to Fly is amazing. So, yeah, I agree. Even though I do think Overlorder is a pretty good final boss as well, I do enjoy Side Order's final, you know, boss fight. I would agree here that I think Tartar and that giant statue is probably a much better final boss overall in terms of spectacle, in terms of probably music as well, probably fight structure, and especially the post cutscene that happens after. So yeah, in that case, I'd say Tartar is for sure a better final boss than Side Orders. I like that it gave Off the Hook more backstory through the chat messages. Seeing those pictures and hearing early versions of stuff like Ebb and Flow was very cool. Oh, I agree 100%. Like, seeing little baby Marina and Pearl when they first met each other, and seeing, you know, how they came to be off the hook and hearing, like, the, I guess, draft version of Ebb and Flow in that one chat message. It was pretty damn cool. And, also, they were throwing in some, Callie and Marie stuff in there, weren't they? Wasn't there one where Captain Cuttlefish actually shared a picture of, like, young Callie and Marie to, like, you know, share with Pearl and Marina? But yeah, that whole little, bonus side thing where you got the chat logs and whatnot, that was pretty damn cool stuff. And you get a bonus one, at the end, spoiler alert, where you get, Callie and Marie coming in, and joining the fray. So, yeah, that was definitely pretty cool. And that's the thing too. I do feel like one of the big reasons why I love Octo expansion is because it gave more character to Pearl and Marina. You know, through the chat messages, through the lore that they explored, like all the pictures, all the early sounds that the early songs they wrote. So, yeah, I do feel like Side Order was probably the cherry on top in terms of building their bond with each other. But, yeah, Octo expansion definitely gave more personality and lore and backstory to Off the Hook, which I definitely did appreciate. So worth the $20. I remember people saying it wouldn't be worth it, but it ended up being more than worth it. Best DLC ever. So yeah, there were people that were kind of against it a little bit at first. Not because it didn't look great, like the trailer did it a lot of justice. It looked great from the trailer that they showed in that direct. But people, you know, at that time were not used to paid DLC for Splatoon, because at that point, like, all we got in terms of content updates was free updates and DLC, like, pretty much weekly or every 2 weeks or so at that point. So, yeah, paid DLC was not seen as a thing that Splatoon was going to be known for, and then they revealed this, and then, you know, even though it was this big, like, you know, pretty good-looking campaign, people were like, really? $20 for this? I don't know, but then we obviously played it, and it is definitely, as you said, more than worth the $20. I would have paid $30 or $40 for this, honestly, because this is kind of a whole new game, and you get a lot of content with it. You get 80 test facilities, you get a lot of backstory with Off the Hook, you get an epic final boss, which is much better than the main campaign's final boss, just saying. So yeah, I wasn't against it originally. I was fine with it. I always thought if they did paid DLC ever for Splatoon, it would be worth it no matter what, and they really did prove it here with Octo expansion. So I wasn't against it at first, but I know a lot of people were, and for good reason. Because again, at that point, Splatoon was not known for paid anything. It was mostly just, you know, free updates and such. But yeah, gotta say, their first ever paid DLC was, as you said here, more than worth it. Does anyone remember the mem cakes? They were neat to find and read the little poems. I do remember them, and they, as you said, were pretty cool to find. They were cute, like seeing little, I guess these little cookie-looking things that looked like various characters and enemies and such in the game. And they had, like, these little poems that rhymed that, like, described what the thing was. They were cool. I had fun collecting them. Yeah, like seeing little, like, you know, memcake form Marina and Pearl and the other, idols, and seeing, like, the bosses and, all the weapons. They got, like, the little tower control tower is one of them. So, yeah, they were pretty cute to find. I gotta agree here. Matchmaster Station, Rapid Blaster Pro. Enough said. Oh, why would you unlock that terrible memory of this DLC for me, man? Because, oh my god. We talked about Inner Agent 3 being a pain in the ass, which I still agree with. But oh my god, this level with the Rapid Blaster can suck the biggest, fattest left nut in history. Because, man, let me just say this, right? Matchmaster is a cool idea. Having to break these boxes to match the thing on the other side was a cool concept. And with the first weapon, it's actually pretty, you know, it's fine. Even the one sniper you use was okay as well to an extent. But then you get to the fucking Rapid Blaster, and man, let me just say, this literally forces you to aim at certain exact spots. If you don't hit the exact spots to break these boxes, you are going to fail and have to repeat the mission all over again, until you get the checkpoint, that is, obviously. But still, like, oh, that fucking memory, man. I hated it. I think we all hated it. Like, The sniper was bad enough. Like, that was also not great to use for that level. Whether it was it was like a Swiffer or a sniper or something. It was one of the charger weapons. But goddamn, the Rapid Blaster can suck it. It really can. It can suck, again, the biggest, fattest left nut of all time. I hated this. It was so goddamn bad. Like, that is one level I will never do ever again. Because if you're not precise or exact, or you don't like those terms, this level is going to kick you in the ass 10 times over. And you will have to just enjoy it. The blender scene. Hearing the screams coming from Tartar gave me nightmares when I first heard it. Such an underrated villain. I am still amazed that they let that in a freaking Nintendo game. Like, Splatoon is kind of known for being more, not catered towards kids, but like the whole presentation is very kind of kid-like, you know? So, having this where it's like you got this like phone trying to blend you and kill you, literally, and then the back of it pops off and you hear these like screams coming out of the phone. It is horrifying, man. And there's videos out there that kind of dive deeper into the audio and like play it backwards, and you can hear like certain things going on. So, yeah, like, I again, I'm just still amazed that they, you know, Tartar is also underrated, I agree with you. But, yeah, seeing that blender scene for the first time, and hearing those screams, and seeing Tartar about to blend you and Captain Cuttlefish into smithereens, it was definitely a terrifying scene, and one that I'm still amazed Nintendo actually let pass through. So, honestly, I hope we see more. Not that I'm a, you know, huge fan of seeing people try to get killed, but, you know, Nintendo, that's out of their comfort zone, you know, trying to do, like, first-party stuff with horror elements and, you know, very terrifying stuff like that, so, we'll see. But yeah, this scene was definitely something. Alright folks, that is it for your Octo expansion hot takes. Thank you as always for your hot takes, and if you guys have your own hot takes for a future episode, make sure you guys are following the BC King Gaming Hot Takes Reddit page. Link is right here or in the pinned comment. Make sure you guys go follow it so you can have your own hot takes submitted for a future episode. But with that said, make sure you guys subscribe, ring the bell, and smash that like button if you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys as always in the next one. Goodbye everybody!